Yo, what's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good, Nation? This is your boy, your host with the most smooth tea. And you are in the midst of another edition of Smooth Teas. We win sports talk. I told y'all, we back in the A, man, back in Atlanta. But I got my boy, my special guest that I'm about to bring in, man, who I told y'all about. He the best wingman in the business. This is my partner, my ace, Cocoon. You know what I'm saying? So we going to bring him in without further ado. Bring it to my homeboy, my boy, Big LT, the Guru. What's up, my boy? What's good?
I got my wings.
Ah,
To be that wing man, you know what I'm saying?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
OH, go Browns, all that. Yeah.
So today's show gonna be awesome, man. We actually piggybacking off of what I had started when I was in Colorado, talking. We're gonna discuss these two quarterback situations that happened with Michigan and what happened with Colorado, and we're gonna just kind of discuss a couple things that we predicted for the day, because we got to make it swift, because his Buckeyes is on. You know what I'm saying? And the Wolverines and the Buffs don't play till later on. But I want to see that game against Indiana also. So we're gonna talk about that. So man, we just gonna jump right into it, man. It was a big day in college football for two teams. One I know who is your hated rival, but the other one, which is one that we both rock with. So I got both my hats here today. You know what I'm saying? I got my gold blue hat and I got my Skull Buff hat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rocking both of them at some point. You know what I'm saying? We talked about them topics, but so let's deal with the one I know you may not be the happiest about. Let's deal with Bryce with Michigan with them getting Bryce. Detroit. He from Michigan. He always had a love for Michigan, but I just found this out, that he's wanted to go to Michigan his whole life, but Jim Harbaugh never reached out to him. That's how he ended up going to LSU, was because Harbaugh would never give him the love. I guess because one thing, he knew he had JJ, and two, he probably knew he was getting ready to get up out of there. So it took Sharon Moore and the other administrators. When Harbaugh left, they went hardcore after him to go get him and repair that relationship. So that was crazy. I was like, man, for that to happen like that. But so let's just talk about him for a second, then we'll move on to the next candidate.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, that's always going to be that team up north in football season. But I mean, they did what they had to do. It was basically out of basically necessity and kind of desperation. I mean, you've been watching it this year, and like the quarterback situation that they got was real bad, and so they needed to make a move like this to stay on the same competitive playing field in the Big Ten. I mean, you got your guy, he's 6'4", 215 pounds, and he brings like the dual threat element, which is
Right.
so important to put pressure on the defenses. So he's giving you 500 yards rushing this year. He's got over 2,000 yards, knocking on the door of like 3,000 yards. So he's going to give you that dual threat. He's going to be physical. Like I said, he's almost as big as Cam. Not as big, but as big as Cam Newton was. At 6'5", 250. So he's gonna punish defenses with his legs and his arms, and it's a good signing for y'all. I mean, moving forward, definitely something y'all needed. So congratulations to y'all.
Let me put this one on while we talking about that.
So
look, let's do this. Let's look at a little footage on Bryce Underwood right quick.
Yeah, run it.
So you see he got some arm, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a better beat than what we got with the other quarterbacks.
Yep,
for him to be the number one quarterback in the country, you know what I'm saying? That's a big call.
There he is using the wheels.
Yeah.
The wheels.
And he getting gone too.
Breakaway speed, yep.
Getting up out of there.
And I'm gonna be honest, man, as a former football player myself, you're gonna have a lot of DBs, especially in this day and age of CTE and concussions. Mm-hmm. A lot of DBs gonna get some gator arms when they go to tackle him, because again, he's 6'4", almost 220.
Right.
That's not going to feel good tackling
Right.
that. You know, so you're going to have a lot of guys. If he gets past those linebackers, those DBs ain't going to want no parts of that because they don't want to get embarrassed
Right.
on a highlight tape. And two, they don't want to get their head busted when they try to tackle him.
Right. That's that Derrick Henry kind of effect, almost like when he started running downhill, people started making business decisions.
Right. Especially if you standing flat footed, waiting for him to come to you, and he running full speed, it's not gonna be fun.
Right. No, I don't want that work right there.
Yeah. They're gonna be making business decisions for them NIL deals.
Right. All right. So that's Bryce Underwood. Like I said, I think it was huge, man, because as I said in my previous video, man, my disappointment with us this year in Michigan was the fact that you knew JJ was gone, but what did you do to prepare for the future? You knew you were coming in. Like, nobody took the time to try to develop Alex Orji. You know, to me, as we both was athletes, as me, when I know I'm coming into the next season, I got to be honest with myself. What can I do? Nobody came and sat down and said, okay, let's work on this passing, because that's a big tool, because people are smart. If they know all you're gonna do is run and that's your specialty, they're gonna prepare for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like, why didn't you even take the opportunity to go and get with a quarterback coach like what Shedeur and what Cam got? Like, that dude is amazing with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So nobody put that out there, because in the NFL, they already said they're not developing quarterbacks no more. So either you coming in and ready to work, they're not developing people no more. So one thing that I want to bring up too that was pivotal about with Sherrone Moore with getting him was Tom Brady reached out to him also. Tom Brady was very pivotal, who is connected with Shedeur also. We're reaching out to Bryce to get him to come to Michigan and flip from LSU. So that was big right there. So Tom paying forward, you know. But like I said with Alex Orji, man, I just felt like we didn't have nothing at quarterback. I thought Alex Orji was going to be able to do it, man, but I was disappointed, man, personally. So, you know, I know they're freshmen coming in, but the future is really bright. And plus, we do have another freshman quarterback that's on the bench also, you know. But us getting Bryce, the number one, God, that's a good move. That's a good look for Sherrone Moore right there, man. So, yeah, that's my little spell on that one right there.
Agreed.
So let's take a look at Juju right here, man. Let me swap hats. So Juju, he's a dot guy. You know what I'm saying? He's actually more of a Shedeur prototype type of quarterback. What was his height and weight?
Yeah, he's a lot smaller. He's 6'1", about 180 pounds.
Okay.
So hopefully he'll beef up a little bit.
Yeah.
The pounding, but like you said, he reads the defense very quickly. He makes his decisions. That ball is out of his hand in less than 3 seconds, and he's super accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it right there. Just in comparison's sake to Bryce, I mean, he's got almost 5,000 more passing yards than Bryce. He's over 10,000 yards for his career.
Right.
He's looking at about 135 touchdowns, only like 15, 16 picks or something like that.
Right.
And it's like you said, he's almost like the Shedeur clone, but he might even be more accurate than Shedeur. And that's saying something.
That's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot, you know, and I like the fact that he's coming in as Shedeur is going out, so he's going to have anywhere from 2, 3, even 4 years to develop as a player, and it's going to continue at least the offensive pressure that the Buffalo is going to be able to apply for years to come. And I'm sure you can speak on all the recruits that are coming in and the young guys that are already there.
Yeah,
he's coming into an offense that's kind of already set as he's coming in.
Yeah.
All they're really losing is Travis and Shedeur.
Right. So it's funny because with Travis, Shedeur leaving, then you got Jimmy Horn Jr. leaving because they're seniors. Will Shepherd's a senior. LeJounte's a senior. But behind them, You got people like Draylon Miller. You got Omarion Miller. You know what I'm saying? You got Cam Michael. Those are guys that when I say lightning fast guys that can get down the field, and then you got with Draylon Miller, that's the little young Deebo Samuel guy that went off last week. They're just freshmen, you know what I'm saying? And then there's sophomores. So I think Juju was coming into a situation in Colorado where he has a lot more weapons right now. With Michigan, on the running back side, we got some weapons. And I think the one thing that I want to make sure that Michigan does is to make sure we go get the wide receivers that's going to complement so that Bryce Underwood is not stuck with trying to be in that same role that Alex Orji was, where he got to always run, because he's 6'4" and he can sling the ball. And like I say, to be the number one quarterback in the country and 5-star, they're not giving that to a quarterback that's just a straight runner. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I think Michigan got to make sure they got the pieces that can go with him, because I know we got Ronnie Bell's little brother who he hadn't really been able to shine. Loveland is on his way out as a senior, so I gotta check in, and we'll do that when we do our college recruit show on who everybody getting, to see what kind of speed ends or what kind of specialty positions, wide receivers, Michigan gonna have coming in, because Colorado already got some players that's just waiting for other players to move out the way. Plus, Deion already showed everybody he's that transfer portal guru. You know what I'm saying? So, and hopefully Michigan can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Coach Prime changed the game for sure. He changed the game.
Yeah.
And, he's expecting these young players to come in and play.
Yeah.
And I think that's why these young guys like going to go play for him, because it's not like, oh, you're going to sit. Because of the way the transfer portal is changing the game, it's almost like in the NFL where you sign a free agent. I'm bringing you in to play. I'm recruiting you to play. If you can't play for me, when you get over here, chances are he's not going to recruit you. So he's basically he's recruiting players out the portal and recruiting players out of high school that can help him specifically in that moment.
Right.
And I think that's why he's winning at the game right now. He's kind of like creating an atmosphere, and he's thought it out, and he's winning. Almost like I felt like how Bill Belichick did in the NFL. All Bill Belichick would do is he would create things so that then the other teams would adjust, and then he would go against the grain, and he was always staying 2 or 3 steps ahead of everybody.
Right.
That's what Coach Prime is doing. He's creating a system. He's manipulating the system in his favor, and he's always staying 2 or 3 steps ahead of the game.
Right.
And that's why he's been able to be successful and do it at such a rapid rate.
Right.
So, congrats and hats off to Coach Prime.
Then, it's funny because you got coaches now that when they see what he's doing, they're behind the scenes saying, man, Deion had us fooled, man. People thought he didn't know what he was doing, but, man, he tricked us, man. He has the recipe. And now he's so in front of the game, man, with I told everybody, with his coaching staff, they're building, and that's the NFL factory that's being built, because everybody on that coaching staff has NFL experience or has been around the NFL. So kids now know, okay, they see what he's doing now. They know when you come here, you're going to get next level tutelage to get you to the next level. So it's not just about a program scheme. We got coaches that they're scheming for the type of players. That's why the defense is always changing at second half, because they're not scheming for the program. The coach is doing what they do in the NFL. I'm taking my players. Okay, let's rearrange them. Let's rearrange this, because I'm fitting my scheme into the type of players that I have, and not making them come and fit into my scheme, which is so unpride. You know what I'm saying? Which is so like unprideful. You know what I'm saying? Which is a great thing, because that means whatever you can do, that coach is going to try to put you in the best position to make sure that you perform at your highest level.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, man. So we recapping that right there. But let's move in real quickly. We got a few more minutes, talk about this big matchup that's going down in the Horseshoe today. You know what I'm saying? I already said how I felt about your Buckeyes this year. With that high priced roster y'all got and everything. But y'all going up against the Indiana team that just took the country by storm, and their coach at Indiana, this dude got an attitude, and it's a good attitude, and he's reshaped that culture. So them being 10-0 and y'all 9-1, y'all number 2, they number 5. This is a huge game. So what's your take on how y'all gonna do on that one today, man?
Well, first of all, you can't penalize us for just taking the rules that they're giving us and just doing what we do. Because what a lot of people don't know is Indiana bought their team too. Mm-hmm. So it's like teams are just out here, just doing what they got to do with these quote unquote these NIL deals.
Yeah.
Because the thing at the end of the day, and you see this in pro sports and college sports, you still got to get these guys to jail. Mm-hmm. You still got to coach them up.
Right.
And they still got to play the game. They still got to strap it on and play the game.
Right.
And so we've endured some things. We got a couple of linemen out for the season. The transfer we just got in from Alabama, Seth McLaughlin, he's out for the year with a torn Achilles.
Okay.
We had to move our left guard over to left tackle. So there's a lot of things happening here where we got to be able to get through adversity. But you're right, Smooth. It's a big game. It's a Big Ten game. So you got a conference game that's going to determine our seeding in the playoffs. And, it's just a lot of things going to have to happen. Like it starts up front with us. Like I said, we've got some linemen down. We're going to have to hold it down in the trenches and figure out a way to get it done with our scheme. We know we have the offensive players to get it done and put up some points. So, we know we in for a dogfight. We don't take anybody lightly like this. They're 10-0 and they've earned it. I think what Indiana is getting criticized for is they haven't played anybody.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to see. And I know that's going to fuel them today as well. Mm-hmm. And so as we get ready to kick off here, they're getting ready to kick off now. We got a couple minutes to go. But I feel like, we're going to have to just pound them, and make big plays. I think whoever wins the turnover battle is going to be the person here to the team to come out on top. So we're just looking forward to it. A nice big game before the big game next week. And we get some retribution against that team up north.
So before we go, because we definitely gonna do a show before I come out to the crib, and we gonna do a pregame show with us, and then we're gonna do a postgame show afterwards. But we're gonna talk about that next week, man. All right. So we ain't gotta bring that up. But look, one thing I want to ask you about real quick about your team is y'all running back situation, because I'm a running back at heart, man. Like, I love the running back position. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? And how you feel about y'all? Because it was crazy, because we both gamers. So when I was playing in NCAA 25, and I just go through people's rosters, and I look on y'all roster, y'all had the top 2-5, running backs in top 5. I'm like, what? What is this? This ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But talk to me about y'all running backs, man, and y'all running back situation.
Yeah, I mean, we basically have what you would call like a thunder and lightning. I like what Detroit is doing with their running backs, the Detroit Lions. They call theirs Sonic and Knuckles. Mm-hmm. You basically you got a bruiser and you got that quick guy. So you can't lose with that. It basically puts that extra pressure on the defense, because they both have enough speed to break it off, to break a long one off. But at the same time, that Quinshon Judkins, who we got from Ole Miss, he's coming in. He's like that power back, so he's the one that's going to wear you out. But then you got Travion Henderson. He's been in the system for 3-4 years. He's fast. He has hands out the backfield, so he's a threat that way. He's going to put pressure on you that way. And he has the breakaway speed as well, even more speed. So I feel like, I feel like watching them this year, they both haven't had a monster game in the same game. But it would be nice. I feel like this week against Indiana, you're going to see them both produce 100 yards apiece in this game. That's my hot take. 100 yards, total yards from both in this game.
Okay.
But I love them, to answer your question. Love them as a tandem. They both are there for each other. They not backstabbing each other. They want each other to do well.
Right.
They know if one does well, it's going to make things easier for the other. So,
Right.
like I said, it's going to start in the trenches, and if we're winning the trenches, then that means they're going to be doing their job as well.
Right.
That's my hot take, man.
Okay.
Hey, and go Bucks, OHIO all day.
Well, look, hopefully they have a great week this week, and then, you know, they slow down next week, because, you know, we gonna talk about that next week, man. We're gonna talk about that next week. Let's run down a couple teams right quick. So one game I'm hoping that we do, because this will make us bowl eligible. We got Northwestern. So Northwestern is 4-6. We're 5-5. We need one more game to make us bowl eligible. That's all I want out of this year for us, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come into this year thinking we was gonna win no championship, because I knew what we had lost in the draft and what we needed to get developed at the QB spot. I thought the QB spot would be a little bit better. I felt like, I know we got some good running backs, but like I said, if you don't have no QB play, the running backs can't really get off, because everybody know what you're going to do. So they load the box up and they just going to attack the running game. So if you don't have no quarterback, you got to have a quarterback to win in college football. You know what I'm saying? So if we can just get this game, we'll be bowl eligible, because next week it's going to be a flip of a coin, man. And we'll go into that even more. But just some quick rundowns. Colorado, they in Kansas, you know what I'm saying? They control their own destiny. So them playing Kansas this week, they win that game. It's at Arrowhead, because Kansas is getting their stadium renovated. So they're playing at Arrowhead. They can get this game, then they go into the last home game against Oklahoma State. Then, of course, we know they're in the Big 12 Conference Championship, which is what Crown was trying to get done. Let's see. You got Miami, Florida versus Wake Forest. Who you got?
Well, I think Cam is going to stay hot. I think Cam Ward is doing some great things there, and I think they're on a mission to make the playoffs. So I got to go with the U in that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Miami can take that one. We're looking at Georgia. I mean, I think they should really get this one, because they're playing UMass after coming off the week that they came off of against Tennessee. I think this should be another game. It should be a more relaxed game for them, because last week was a lot of pressure playing Tennessee at UGA. It was prime time, but this game against UMass should be a more kind of relaxed game for them, so they can kind of just settle in. Don't make it a trap game, because, you know, next week they got Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech playing hot. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a great rival game next week down in Athens. So, you know, you got UMass. I'm taking Georgia on that one.
Yeah, I expect Georgia to win that one big time. They're gonna make the point spread and everything. I expect them to win that one big.
And even coming off the same thing, we got Tennessee playing against UTEP. That's funny, because after what happened with Georgia, Tennessee got moved out of the college playoff. So I think they should get another relaxed game, just like Georgia did, because UTEP is they 10-6. I mean, they 2-6, not 10-6. They 2-8, matter of fact. You know, so I think that's another game that they should be able to build up their morale and pick up and be able to, you know, knock that one out easily. And they playing at Tennessee. So UTEP got to come from El Paso to Knoxville. So I'm taking Tennessee on that one myself too.
Okay. Yeah, I concur. Tennessee should win that one. They better not lose that one, because like you said, El Paso's 2-8. They clearly have a talent advantage over there in Tennessee versus that team. So Tennessee should win that one as well.
Gotcha. And I think the last one we're going to talk about is this is funny, because this right here, whoever wins this game becomes bowl eligible. That's Wisconsin versus Nebraska. So we're going back to the Big Ten. And it's funny, you know, I don't dislike Matt Rule, because Matt Rule is a great coach and he's a great builder, but I don't have too much love for Nebraska, for, you know what I'm saying, because of, you know, this Skull Bus connection, you know what I'm saying, and the way they were just ready. I remember I sent you that video, that back behind the scene about Nebraska, about how they was preparing for Colorado game, but then it seemed like after that game, Nebraska hadn't been the same, you know.
Right.
So I I don't really have a dog in the hunt on this game. Wisconsin coming off of that close game that they had against Oregon, so they got a little bit more bite. So if I got to just choose of maybe who I would want to take that game, I'm gonna say Wisconsin, because whoever wins that game, that puts that team as being bowl eligible, because both of them right now sit at 5-5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you kind of said it best. Wisconsin's playing the best football right now. For them to hold their own against the number one team in the country, even though they lost, that's going to be a lot of confidence boost for their team
Right.
on all sides of the ball. And so I feel like right now, with them playing the best ball right now, and I feel like their coach over there, Fickle over there, is going to have those boys ready. And I feel like with Nebraska, that young freshman quarterback is starting to have his growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, that being said, I think Wisconsin's going to throw him a couple curveballs and confuse him. So I expect Wisconsin to come out of that one. It might be close, maybe like a 17-14, a 20-16 type game, but
Right.
like Wisconsin comes out ahead.
Okay. Well, look, man, my boy, as always, I appreciate you being the greatest wingman. Y'all don't understand. This is my Ace Boone Coon right here, man. We in the dark alley. Y'all in trouble if we together. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, LT, hopping on with me, man. We're going to wrap up this show, man, for today. We will be back. Y'all like and subscribe, man, because get used to seeing us too, man. You're going to see us everywhere, bro. We're gonna be on the sidelines in Colorado. We're gonna be where we need to be at, man. Just covering what we do and what we love to do, man. God be the glory. We love sports. This is what we do. You may catch us talking about some movies, but you know what I'm saying. But one thing we definitely gonna talk about is this sports. You know what I'm saying. So we definitely appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying, for showing up with us. And you got any last words, my boy?
Hey, all I got to say is OH, I owe the day with the win. And shout out to my Browns for the Thursday night win. And also my Cleveland Cavaliers. We 16-1 right now. So
yeah,
let's do it.
That Boston game was close though, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
You know, definitely, man. But so everybody, again, thank y'all for joining us, man. I am your host with the most, Smooth T. That is my homie right here next to me, LT, Big LT, the guru. You know what I'm saying? Look, winning is the end game, and if you ain't about to win, don't go in. This is the Smooth T's We Win Sports Talk Show. We'll be back next show. So, peace.
Hey.
All right, dog. Hey, I like that one, man.
That was good.